What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger comic book review. We have a nice amount of books this week. Our pile has definitely grown once again, and we are on the cusp of the E3 convention week. So we apologize that this review is on time. It's just about an hour later than we're used to recording. Mike and I actually still have to record our dual recap of two of the events that happened today, which is the Sony and Ubisoft, as they call it, conferences. And then Michael will be doing Nintendo sometime tomorrow, and tomorrow is also Frontline Live. So definitely tune in for that. If you're watching this about a couple of weeks from now on my channel, all this has happened already. Go check it out on comicfrontline.com. But as far as this channel is concerned, when this video goes up, well, first of all, we're at episode. Let's start this way because you'll understand more when I do this. We are at episode 396. We are 4 episodes. 4. Finally, a normal number that looks like the Fantastic Four, which I miss. Marvel, bring them back. So you put that on the side now. Anyway, we're 4 episodes away from episode 400, ironically. And when this is coming out, it should be the week before 400, or a little bit before 400, because I'm releasing 3 episodes of the Dark Avenger comic book review a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my channel. So by this point on my channel, I should be pretty close to when 400 hits, because I believe by the time 400 hits, I should be caught up to my comic review show on Frontline and on my channel. Yep. And then, yes, there will be announcements. There is going to be a shakeup. I like to do, as Vince McMahon says, I love to shake things up a bit every 100th episode of the comic review. So there will be a major shakeup. When we get to 400, there'll be a announcement video on here. There'll be a counter or a follow-up announcement video over on my channel, Dark Avenger C86. We're going to have a nice time. It's going to be a fun celebration week for 400. We might actually, like I said, get comics that we normally don't read to throw in, because we like to do extra stuff on a 100th episode. We definitely do. And that might actually push the review. We're going to try to get all this stuff read so we can give it to you on the weekend. We've been doing these on Monday Live. We are going to push to try to get you guys the 400th comic review on Sunday Live, which is why we might not have too many extra books, because we're going to want to get through our books really quick in order to get you guys. What's up, Shamar? He's live in the chat. We're doing this live on Frontline, but this way we can get you guys the comic review on Sunday, on time. And we're going to aim to try to do it as a live show. Depends on how the graphics are, because I know that last week's review did not come out HD for some weird reason, and I don't know why.
Well, that's weird.
So we might, I don't know. I want to do it live, though. I love talking with you guys, and we might try to do it at an hour where everybody will be on board. Stay tuned. Like I said, 4 more episodes to go. First week of July will be the 400th Reviews Comics. Now, Michael, for this week, however, what do we got?
Well, these comic books were released on June 7, 2017.
Justin is awake.
Which is the first week of June.
Yes, it is. Justin, you are awake. What is up? Let's review some comics. Yes. And I think everybody's going to be very happy with what I decide to do, or what the announcements will be for the Dark Avenger comic book review. I'm really excited, and I don't want to drop too much. We got Jesse, we got Justin, Shamar, man. We got a great group of people already in the comments. What's up, guys? How are you guys enjoying E3? I know this is not part of the comic conversation, but we could type and chat about it. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. Great to have you guys here live on the comic review. Sorry for everybody post live or on my channel. Definitely go check out stuff. Anyway, Predator Hunters issue number 2. I am really liking this because we're seeing more of the formation of the team here. We get introduced to a new character who had another traumatic experience with the Predators. We get the background story on where the Predators are, how they have to basically sneak onto the island as scientists in order to not raise kind of a suspicion. They're doing this. The island that the Predator's on is off limits, but the island next to it isn't. And they're going to the island that's not off limits first, and then they're going to find a way to get over there. And they want to basically destroy the Predators. And,
congrats, Shamar.
Congrats, Shamar. You graduated high school today.
Awesome.
Congrats, man. Congrats. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. I like the artwork. I like the story. We get more background on some characters. Like I said, we get introduced to a new character and her background as well. This is definitely shaping up to be some type of a really good book. And we find out that really nobody survived. The one survivor that survived the island actually ended up dying on a boat. But before that, he did give the story, and that's why they are going to this island to destroy the predators and stop them once for all. And we find out that this woman actually has stolen alien weapons. Oh my God. Yes, this is a book that I can definitely sink my teeth into. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I really am. Paper Girls issue 15. I believe this is the end. I believe they're going on a break after this issue. Anybody in the comments who knows 100%, let me know. I really like this issue. So the girls decide they're not going to go anywhere until they save the baby for this other girl who lost the baby. And I love how Mac is pissed off at KJ for distracting them, or distracting the guys away from them so that they could escape, because the men ended up doubling back and stealing the baby. And now the woman, the doctor from the distant future, wants to go back home. She's like, you can't interfere with what's happened. Apparently this is the past. And they're like, no, it's our fault that the baby was taken. We're not leaving until we save the baby. And the woman's like, we got 2 hours, so we better do this and do it fast. They end up finding the guys, saving the baby. The doctor, from the visions, as we saw, we see what happens to the doctor. Not going to spoil that. It was really good. And what happens is the doctor basically tells them, get to the ship, get to my colleagues, and tell them they need to fix this mess because there's some crazy stuff happening. I left out a bunch of stuff in this book. This is the last one for a while, right? So I don't want you guys to get too spoiled on it. I want you to read Paper Girls. I am loving this series, by the way. I really am. At some point, I really need to start getting the trades for Paper Girls. Really do. Really good stuff. This should be like the 3rd or 4th trade, or maybe they'll bring out a compendium after this, and then I'll just get that. That's what I'm waiting for. But the girls end up getting to the ship, and something happens. Explosion! And just like the last cliffhanger they left us at when they took the break, this time, I forgot which girl it was, got stuck in the year 2000, and Y2K officially happens. It happens. Like the way everybody was like, oh, Y2K, the computers are going to go crazy. It's going to be kind of like Terminator. It happens in this world, and she gets stuck right at that point. What's going to happen next? And that's not a spoiler. That's an awesome cliffhanger. But there is stuff that happened in the middle of this book that I really liked a lot. I really like Paper Girls. I definitely recommend the series. If you've been under a rock or decided you didn't want to pick this up for whatever reason, number one, get yourself Volume 1. If you like Volume 1, get the rest of the volumes, because Paper Girls is an amazing series, and I'm really enjoying it. This book has officially ended. Book 1 has ended. And the good news is, for pre-orders for August, this will be coming out in trade. Reborn issue number 6, the finale to book 1. And we find out that the main character, she is still technically alive. She's clinically in a coma, and that's why she can't tap into her powers yet. And we find a backstory about the demon she's fighting, that he killed all these people, then killed himself. And the eviler you are, the more the darkness wants you, the lighter you are, the more the bright side wants you. And he was pure evil, so they wanted him. She was pure good. The good side wanted her. And it just evolved into this big fight, and we find out that she's clinically not dead yet. She's in a coma. And she comes back. She comes back to life, actually. And she finally, we find out that she's always been afraid of death. And then she finally says, I'm ready to go. I don't belong here. I don't belong here anymore. And that's when she finally clinically dies. And she goes back, and now she has full power. And the fight scene was awesome. When she sees her husband again, the dialogue between the two of them was great. And then, of course, we transition into the finale, which I don't want to spoil too much. But we get a nice finite end. We get to see a little bit more of the living world, where the granddaughters and the daughter are kind of grieving the loss of their mother, but they're happy that she finally was ready, and they're hoping she's in a better place, and she is. We find out more about her friend, who finally decides to side with her, and we get a nice ending for her. And the part that it says end of book 1 definitely leaves it open for another book. The artwork, story, amazing. Reborn, get this book. When it comes out in August, I will be getting this trade paperback in August because it was good. What's up, Tevya, in the comments, who hates everything? Welcome. You made it before Amazing Spider-Man, but we'll probably end up agreeing this time around on Amazing Spider-Man. Again, Youngblood issue number 2. So Youngblood, we find out they don't want this new generation to take their name. And that's why I forgot what his name was, is there. He didn't want them to take their name. He was there to help them, to save them. God, please, we're trying to do a review. I don't know why the bright light decides to come in at this point in time. I wish there was something I could do to prevent it, but there's really nothing. I may be doing that. God just wants to be into this review too. So God, welcome to the review. God is our guest star tonight. Welcome to the review. So anyway, Youngblood was really good. I enjoyed it. We find out that Rock, or I forgot what his name was, Thomas, ended up knowing about these kids, talking with them, and he wants them to be the new blood. He's supposed to be stopping it or preventing new superheroes from taking the name Youngblood or being young heroes. And in the end, he's the one that actually wants them. And we get backstory on this guy who's probably going to end up being the new Sentinel. And that was in the beginning of the book. I like that too. I like this book. I'm definitely interested in it. And now we see that Rock or Thomas is wanting this to be the new Youngblood team. And he wants them to mentor him and the other guy whose name left my mind. I'm sure that Justin knows who it is, the archer that was in this book. His name left my mind. I don't know Youngblood very well yet. I should. I don't. I know. Shame on me. I don't, though. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Youngblood issue number 2. Very good stuff. Don't you agree, God? I'm glad you do.
Okay, then.
Shaft. Thank you, Shaft. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to issue 3.
All right. It's my turn now, and I'm going to start off with the Guilty Pleasure book of Angry Birds Flight School, issue number 3. The Angry Birds version from the movie. Get it?
It's very hard to zoom because we got a lot of comics in our background. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, buddy.
So in this one, there was just 2 stories. Basically, the first,
oh, you're back, God. Good. I thought we might have fixed the camera. Sorry.
Basically, the first story is about the pig who.
Hey, God, can I get a Coke? Can I get a Mountain Dew?
I love how every time
USA.
I do.
I'm sorry. I'm talking to God.
Can
God.
I talk?
Okay. Thank you. God gave me a Mountain Dew USA. Go ahead. I'm done.
Are you really?
Yes. That's it.
I want to try and review.
No, go ahead. I'm just saying God was very good to me.
The first story, like I was trying to say before, was basically the green pig is disguised as a bird because he's like trying to get into the bird family. I mean, I've seen this like a bunch of times already, and it's getting a little bit old now. But the difference is that he remembers how the pigs treated him so mean and rudely, whereas the birds treat him like, he's part of the family and everything. So he winds up staying with them, but then in the future, they're going to find out that he's just a pig under the bird costume. And then the second story was a little bit pointless, where it was just talking about some type of mushroom that they were looking for, and then they give it to the king in the end, and then it was too late to give it to him because it was not cooked as well, if that makes any sense. So that's really for the Guilty Pleasure of that. Now, this one was actually a really great book this week, and that is Fath issue number 12 from Valiant, where the Fateless Four have Fath kidnapped. And they're trying
Fath! Oh, I was going to help you. Oh.
Is it real? It's a little too white probably to cover. But anyway. So
oh, no, God. Oh, he's back.
All right. So the Fateless Four are trying to find ways of how they want to kill Fath. So Chris Crosswell, who is the leader, leaves the people in charge. Like, first she puts the woman in charge to see her, and then Fate's trying to go in her mind, like saying, you're still a good person inside, like you don't really have to do this. And then the cat comes in, and he's like so drunk and everything. They're like saying, are you drunk or something? And then the cat was going to try to help her out. And then the guy who was under the bear suit, you're not going to believe this.
I believe it.
She actually finds out the name of the guy under the bear suit. You know what his name was? His name was Jeff.
His name was Jim.
I swear. He's like saying, Jeff. My name is Jeff. I heard that in my head. I'm like, oh my God, it could have not been perfect that she got to his head. And he actually joins Fate's side to try to fight, and then the Fateless Four gets a little bit broken up and everything. And then Faith goes back into her regular, everyday superhero thing. But now she can't beat Faith because they think that she's a menace of the whole city because of what that clone Fath did to her. So, and I guess it's the end really, because I didn't see the end or to be continued. So I guess that's the end of that issue of that, or the story arc of the Faithless Four. But really great issue. Now we're going to two Zenescope books, Day of the Dead, issue number 5. So in Day of the Dead, issue number 5, we have, oh, come on. Why is it not focusing? Focus. Thank you.
It focuses.
Yeah, and in this book, it talks about, I can't remember the girl's name that was with Talisman, and then they want her to join the side where she could be like a new queen or something like that. So throughout the whole issue, that she gets possessed into being a demon, and then she wants to try to fight her way out of it. And Talisman tries his every way to fight her out of it, but she's like saying, I can't move, but I know what I'm doing and everything. So they got her to be the new Reborn, to be on their side. And she looked like a real badass, I'm telling you, with the whole mask and everything. It was like really, really something. So she actually winds up going against Talisman, but in the end, he had a power of his own. And that right there was epic, because that's going to be continued in the next issue. Really great cliffhanger, and I'm really looking forward to the next issue. And finally, Spear Hunters, issue number 8 of 12. We're only 4 more issues up, people, until the Spear Hunters story adventure of the ghost stories, I should say, are over. And it's really just about them going to find out the case about Haunted Lake. There's like this little boy that was found there that was like drowned or something. So they go to this man, and he actually tells them about the story. What are you doing now?
What is this thing?
Looks at the story, and Ellen, I'm telling you, Ellen almost died again. It's like almost every issue she's almost... In every issue, she's like almost dying, because she saw this girl.
She saw a girl.
Well, it was Morgan.
Seeing a girl definitely will kill you.
And
seeing a Morgan will definitely kill you.
She like pointed into the water, and then she almost died. And then they found out that we get a little bit of a backstory about Curtis, who really didn't have a easy childhood actually with his stepfather, and he had an uncle named Michael too, ironically.
And that's what killed her. And that's what killed her.
But I think what Ellen trying to find out now is if Morgan was trying to help her or to try and kill her. That's what she wants to find out, and that's what really keeps me excited to find out more of issues to come. But really great book. You gotta check it out. Now I have 2 physical books if we're gonna stop now, which I did review on Comic Frontline. Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, issue number 2. This book right here
has a lot of glare.
Right here.
And I love how if you don't want the title, you could put the book in like this, and you got like a virgin cover. See, everybody, for free, we have a virgin cover. I love this cover. Can you tell why I love this cover?
Yeah, because that's
yeah, I love that cover. Mr. Gretzky, what's up?
Yeah, but so anyway, thoughts off.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Mr. Gretzky says I'll read your book Thursday and post videos. Man, thank you. I appreciate all the wonderful reviews. You have Mike Spider Slayer who reviewed it, Cat Comic Uno who reviewed it, my good friend Frost reviewed it today with a wonderful, wonderful review. Undisputed Frost, you guys should check his channel out as well. I appreciate all the wonderful words from everybody, and I hope you feel the same way, Mr. Gretzky.
All right, so it just starts off where Darkstalker summons a demon, which is going to set out revenge to those who step against him and everything. But the Darkstalker got one step further because he was about to kill her. And then we have the Street Fighters along with Felicia that are fighting off against the... I really love the artwork in this comic book. The artwork was drawn really amazing. And as they're fighting along, Ken actually gets hurt during the fight. And the rock and roll guy, Lord Raptor, get ready for this, Chris. Remember Dark Ryu? Get introduced to the new and improved Ken.
Yeah, there is a Dark Ken, you know.
There is it. When was there a Dark Ken? I never saw a Dark Ken. I only saw a Dark Ryu.
No, you knew it was a Dark Ken.
Well, here is your new and improved Ken, or Dark Ken, from what he says, that going up against the his own team. And then the second story was all like pish posh, where Lord Oru was talking with the Darkstalker who tried to seduce him and everything, but then she winds up leaving, and then that was really pointless, kind of.
As most backstories are.
Yeah, but creepy too, Master Oru. But yeah, really great issue. Definitely check that out. And finally, from my physical pile, The Walking Dead, issue number 168. And I could say this in like one sentence. As Rick and the others are still mourning over the death of Andrea, the other team who actually...
this is more than one sentence.
No, I'm just saying the person was in love with Sherry and trying to find out what happened, was trying to, cause this whole thing. And Negan, throughout the whole entire issue, was saying why they... Like, first he's like saying, oh, we should have the whole team again and everything. And then as Dwight was trying to agree with him, he's like saying, I'm not going back to that again. What the hell's wrong with you and stuff like that? I burned your face and everything. You want to go back to those days? So I thought Negan was going to turn bad again. But then he's like saying, solution here, Rick's on our side, and we should all just not do this whole fight thing. And he sends his condolences to Andrea. And it was really a beautiful ceremony that they did for Andrea, where at night Rick just goes to her grave and just... I mean, I feel so bad for Rick. It's like you want to just go in there.
It hurts. It really does.
Hurt. I could feel his pain, and I really want. I hate that because I want to go in the comic book and, I just want to hug the character and say, I know you're hurt and everything's fine. We're here for you.
Mike is a hugger.
I just felt bad for Rick.
He's a hugger.
We're going now back to digitals, and the big two. Digitals first, so what's on with yours?
I'm just throwing this out there. Secret Empire, Brave New World. It was an interesting book. You don't need it unless you want extra story backstories. There's a bunch of backstories in here. It makes you hate Namor even more. However, is it something I recommend? It's okay. If you want everything, I say this with every event series, from Marvel especially. If you want everything, you'll be reading Brave New World. If you don't want everything, you don't need Brave New World. You can read the main book alone, right, God? Right. And then you'll be fine. And then, of course, any books that you already read that cross over to it, if you're reading the event and you're reading the book that you like that crosses over it, you're fine. This Brave New World, an extra story for, I believe, $3.99 if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Doesn't say. I believe it's $3. I'm gonna guesstimate it's $3.99. You don't need it. It's not really important. It's up to you. Now, Nova issue number 7, which is the grand finale to this volume of Nova, which I believe, in my opinion, is a good thing, because this volume of Nova just did not speak to us like every single other previous volume of Nova. You brought back, what do you call it? Oh, you had Sam, and then you brought back Richard. You brought back Richard. And I don't know why his name left my mind completely. I'm sorry. It's getting late. I got a bunch of things in my head. Okay. But I'll have to wait. I'll answer yours, Brent, in a little bit. But anyway, the whole series was Sam saving Richard from the alternate world. He ends up doing so in the end, and that was really it. And that's the end of the series. Richard has another lease on life, and Sam now is back to being, basically they're like a Nova team now.
Oh, okay.
It really just, I did not click with this volume at all. Just my opinion, I did not. Justice League issue number 22, because after reading a certain book, which will not end up on this review because it was garbage, I figured, why not try Justice League? The Green Lantern, Simon and Jessica, are destroying asteroids that are going to hit Earth. They end up getting contaminated by these little, alien microscopic bugs, which end up infesting the entire Justice League tower. Thanks, Maverick. I really appreciate that. Maverick Freelance in the comments saying you guys rock. No, man, you rock too, dude. He has a channel. he has tons of channels. Go check out Maverick Freelance's channel, and then he's got a bunch of other ones as well connected, depending on what your preference is. And going back to Justice League, though, I don't. It was okay. You know, the Justice League ended up fighting it. Jessica is always upset that they're not taking it seriously as Hal. That the Justice League kind of looks like they always want Hal back. And then in the end, it was a good read. Was it the best book ever? No, but it's definitely a little bit better than what we've been getting. Like I told you guys, I moved Justice League to digital. It's an okay story. They end up sending the little bugs. They end up containing them because Jessica, apparently her mind is melded with the Queen, and she brings them all, and they capture them all, and then they drop them off on another asteroid. The Justice League Watchtower is clear. Superman has his family there because Lois is doing an interview about the Watchtower, and of course John is there too. So it was not. It was a nice issue. Was it a necessary issue? No, but it was. I guess it's a segue between the two arcs. And while you do that, I'm going to check on what I need to check on.
The Lazarus Contract Epilogue of Deathstroke issue number 20. And I want you to look at this word here real carefully. See how it says the story arc terminated? That's what I'm giving the book. I am dropping this book. Because after reading this book, after Deathstroke said that he was, like getting off the team and everything, he turns around and almost every sentence was a word he got either from the Bible, and he's like saying, "Oh, I've changed. I'm a new guy now. I'm not this old Deathstroke." What? I just could not like this book, and after I read that, I was like, no, Deathstroke, I am done with. Worst book of the week. Did not like it. And then on top of that, in the end, he forms a new group, Dark Titans. You've changed, but yet you're going to form a group called Dark Titans, which has Rachel in it. That's Scavenger. You have Wintergreen, who's in there as well, I believe, and his son Jericho. After just reading that, I'm not even thinking about continuing the issue. I don't care what he forms a team, Dark Titans. Done. That's it. I am not coming back no more for Deathstroke unless there's going to be a whole part thing like they did with Lazarus Contract. But I'm done with Deathstroke. That's it. The Fall and Rise of Captain Atom. This is issue 6 of 6, the final issue of the Captain Atom series. And I got to admit, though, this issue is really good. It's Captain Atom, who is going up against Ultramax once again. And first off, they're just trying to find plans of where to find Ultramax. And Ultramax has the son of Captain Atom. So he's like saying, I'll make a deal with you. You give me back him, and then you could have, whatever you want and everything. So then the artwork was good, by the way. And there's like this whole thing of them trying to find a way where they can meet up with each other, and they do, which a fight ensued between the both of them, and it was like a really great issue. And then in the end, we see the Justice League, where Captain Atom was going to join the Justice League because they're interested in him. So it says the end for now. So I'm guessing that this could lead into a further story in the future if Captain Atom should come back for being in the Justice League. Who knows? But that was a really great issue. Also, New 52 Wally West is joining Deathstroke team. Yeah, I know. It's not interesting to me, so I'm done with it. And finally, SpiderMan Deadpool, issue number 18. And this is the final story to SpiderMan Deadpool, well, for now at least. And this was just all about them just fighting off against this demon-like person that wore the shirt of Spider-Man Deadpool, and he called them daddy, what so to say. And I don't know what's going on with Spider-Man's character in this book. Like, it's like the opposite. Like, Deadpool was all about killing, being an anti-hero, and Spider-Man never killed. Now it's like roles were turned opposite. Now Spider-Man wants to kill this whole demon thing because of what he's doing and everything. And Deadpool is trying to stop him from doing that. And it's like a whole, like, what's going on here? Like a whole role reversal here going on. But after all that was all said and done, Spider-Man actually had a heart-to-heart talk with Deadpool about how he really had no feel for love and everything. So then he like hugs it out with him, and you know, so the whole thing with them being a team, you know, they did what they had to do. But you can read the whole issue just to find out what more happens in there. Really great issue. I'm definitely gonna see if there's any more story for that, and what more should go from there.
Did you say hi to MT?
Oh, what's up, MT? The Bubbly game is coming out before Kingdom Hearts 3. There's some Twilight Zone stuff. Yeah, I didn't see it until
now. There is a horrible book that I read this week that would be my worst pick if I wanted to give this book the light of day to talk about. But because I don't like this book or what it stands for, or the whole first issue was just complete garbage, that would be my worst pick. But because we're not going to give that book any publicity, and pray to God that as Tevye, I hate to steal anything from Tevye, but as Tevye says, hopefully the book will go away sooner rather than later. Let's go to my second worst pick and what will be my worst pick of the week, and that is Amazing Spider-Man 28. I really did not like the story arc at all, and if Spider-Man wasn't going into, or Amazing Spider-Man wasn't going into Secret Empire 2-1, I always forget to take these stupid things out before the show, and they drive me nuts. I apologize, everybody. Give me just 2 seconds. There we go. And Spidey fights Norman Osborn, gets his ass kicked. Then, out of nowhere, his amazing friends show up. They win. They're starting to win the day. Norman Osborn somehow sneaks away. Who didn't see this coming?
So welcome to my world.
Yeah, and basically the Parker luck starts to kick in because S.H.I.E.L.D. wants the Parker luck. Because S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer wants anything.
The Parker luck.
Yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer wants anything to do with Peter Parker or Parker Industries.
Who didn't see that?
So they break ties, and Norman Osborn feels he needs to be Green Goblin in order to destroy Spider-Man and Peter Parker at the end.
Ooh, Harry or Norman?
Norman.
Oh, Norman, okay.
I said Harry?
I thought you said Harry.
I know Norman. All right, it's Norman. So if I said Harry, I apologize. God is gone. Oh. Well, anyway, yeah, God ran away because he knew about this book. I did not like this arc for Amazing Spider-Man at all. And to be quite honest, I don't even know if Amazing Spider-Man might actually move to a digital pile. I don't know. We're going to see what happens this month with Sensational. And I don't know where we're going to go with a lot of things coming, pending future things. But as far as Amazing Spider-Man goes, I don't even know. Alex Ross is one of the reasons why I still get Amazing Spider-Man, but I truly, let's see how the beginning of the Secret Empire arc goes. And I think by August, because that's where our pre-orders are going now for this month, after August, we'll see if Amazing Spider-Man stays on our pull list or not. Because I believe the crossover and Secret Empire end in August. So when we see the previews for September, that'll tell me whether I'm keeping Amazing Spider-Man, moving it digital, or just dropping it completely. Iron Fist issue number 4, however, I really enjoyed. We get the background on Liu Shi, finally. And we find out that, what's his name? Oh, God. We find out Danny was saved by this old man who gives him, like I said, the whole lowdown on what Liu Shi is. And Chao Sin wants to try to destroy Danny before he makes it. He tries to frame Danny by saying he's the one that killed his own guide. Because, of course, nobody knows. Like I said, we get the background on Liu Shi and that it was really people from Kunlun that left because they didn't like the way things were. They tried to make their own city, and now they want to steal the essence of Shou Lao the Undying, the dragon, basically steal the Iron Fist from Danny and basically become the next Kunlun or restore Kunlun to the way it was before. And we find out later on that the old man that took Danny in and nursed him back to health is his next challenger. And we get some awesome fighting, and Chao Sin ends up sending his champion along with another guy's champion. And after he finishes beating the rabbit, the other 2 champions show up, and Danny makes quick work of them as well. And now all he wants is to see the council. And we find out also that the chi that Danny is taking from everybody in Lo Shi, I can't pronounce anything when it comes to this. In this place, it's temporary. And the only way for him to truly restore his Iron Fist chi is to go back to Kunlun and set things right. So I'm guessing that's where the next story arc is going to take us. I am really excited for that. I like the foreshadowing towards that. And yeah, I'm down 100% for that. X-Men Gold issue number 5. The X-Men save the day. They save Remy. They end up fighting this Sentinel. They find out a little bit of background on the Sentinel, that it's really sentient. They throw Kitty through it, and it takes it out, but that's when they find out that it's actually sentient as well, so it's living. Of course, the woman from the first story arc is blaming everything on the X-Men, saying it's mutants that are causing all this ruckus, and, you know, if any deaths or anything that happens, it's all on the X-Men, and they have to change up their tactics against the Sentinel now because it's adapted to Kitty's basic point of view, or Kitty's attack on it. That's what these microorganisms do. They adapt to and get stronger and learn from encounters. So it got stronger, and it was making it harder for the X-Men to fight it. And then what happens is Rachel actually throws out a psionic attack because it turned out that the oh god, whatever it was, I forget what it is. The pieces of it, because the Sentinel was smaller, were scattered all throughout Manhattan. So basically, Rachel sends out a psionic attack to kind of take them all out. And we find out that a bunch of people that were killed all had genetic mutations. They weren't mutants. They just had mutations like color blindness, baldness, whatnot. Basically, the Sentinel, or the organisms, are targeting any abnormal mutation in humans and killing them. Really cool stuff. Yeah, so basically they did adapt, Tevia. I'm enjoying X-Men Gold. It's a really interesting story. It was interesting this week. It was fun to read, definitely. Moving into DC.
Yes, and this I have for Comic Frontline. Green Arrow number 24, The Rise of Star City Part 4. And let me just show the cover. And this story, we just find out that with Green Arrow, who's trying to find a way to stop the Four Horsemen, we have him that's trying to get into Queen Industries to get his business back. And I don't know about you guys, and I said this in the review also, is it just me, or did the artwork kind of change? I mean, the artwork's pretty good. It's not phenomenal like I said in the other issues, but I think it kind of changed in many different ways. And I don't know, that's just me. But anyway, Broderick encounters with Green Arrow and saying that, you know, your bone arrow was all destruction and everything, and Green Arrow tries to fight him. Whereas Red Archer, Amico, and Black Canary are fighting the two members of the Four Horsemen, while Nathan Domani is, or Mayor, is making his press conference about the chaos that happened. And after he fought, Green Arrow fought against Broderick, he was saying to him that it was too late for Green Arrow to save the city. And what does he do? He comes clean and he says that he is Oliver Queen because people think Oliver Queen is dead, and he gets arrested because they think that he is the murderer of Wendy. And yeah, to be continued next time in the finale of The Rise of Star City. So now that he threw away the Green Arrow costume, like I said before, you know he's going to get it back eventually. Either it's going to be in the finale or whenever. But it was a great story, but I want to see how they're going to make that the finale of The Rise of Star City.
Yesterday was the 70th anniversary of Black Canary. That's awesome.
Oh, wow, cool.
All right, so Green Lanterns 24, staying on that physical pile for now. We got Simon versus Kyle still. Still has to put one punch on him. And just like we predicted, Guy Gardner says, so finally we get to see a little bit. And he starts fighting Jessica. He's like, you want to be a Lantern? You're going to have to start fighting back. We got, what's his name? We got more backstory on the first 6 Lanterns, or the first 6 beings that have Green Lantern, to have the Green Lantern ring. And that's, the first Green Lantern, Volthoom, who is still in Rami's body, who's doing this. And we find out that Jessica actually has the 7th ring to ever come into existence in the Green Lantern Corps. So she's holding a piece of his original lantern. So now he basically wants to kill Jessica, get her ring, and start to reform his travel lantern, so this way he can go home. So in the end, Jessica ends up beating Guy. Let's cut to the chase here. And Simon ends up beating Kyle. And they all graduate. Everybody's happy. Green Lantern's like, yay. And then now that Rami, or Volthoom, who is in Rami's body, knows about Jessica, he wants to take her and Simon to the Vault of Shadows. And that is where the next story arc is leading, where they are going to go uncover some secrets on how to bring, or he's lying and saying on how to bring the Green Lantern rings back so that they can make more Green Lantern rings and the Green Lantern Corps can thrive once again. Nightwing issue number 22. So we find out that Defacer, or Sean, ends up going back to her job, which pushes Dick back to being just a volunteer. We get, what's his name? Colin, I believe his name is. Oh, Roland. I'm sorry, Roland, who ends up showing up, and he's, I forget, Blockbuster. He is the new Blockbuster. His brother originally is still locked up, so he becomes a new Blockbuster. We have Nightwing in the middle of a gang fight, and he knows that, you know, it's been quiet, and now gang fights are starting to break out, and this is the beginning, or this is setting up for something even bigger, which it turns out it is Tiger Shark, who has all these gang fights and whatnot to kind of keep Nightwing off of his trail, or to keep Nightwing from finding out about his new casino and all the dirty stuff he's doing. We get some nice dialogue with Dick and Sean about Sean saying, you know, you need to go to this new job interview because you need to spend time as Dick Grayson as well. I love the dialogue. I love the artwork in this book. And I'm really happy that him and Sean are still going strong, because I was worried she was going to get scarred from the arc that she was in. I was worried she was going to die. I'm glad she didn't die in and of itself, but I'm glad that you have that kind of relationship. It definitely builds on the Nightwing comic. And then you have Tiger Shark, who enrolls Roland into finding Nightwing and basically taking him out of the equation. Got to show the shark page. Love sharks in comics. And Dick actually goes to a few of the Renegades, or what were they called? Were they called the Renegades, or were they called something else? The Runoffs. Two of his friends, or two of the kids he was taking care of, and kind of talking with them about, you know, should I go for this job interview? Shouldn't I? And after talking with them, he decides he is. He goes out as Nightwing, ends up fighting Blockbuster for a bit, who is Roland, not his brother. And basically, he wants to give Nightwing a job offer, to be continued. Interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff indeed. I'm very interested in seeing where Nightwing is going. Let me just type something. Okay, and what's up, Larry Lawhorn? So, Superman issue 24. So, Superman finds out it's Manchester Black that has... Well, we find out as readers first that it's Manchester Black. We get a background on his elite and how he got them. We get a background on Cobb and his granddaughter. We find out where they're from. And then we have Clark and Lois, who are, you know, Lois tells Clark, you need to get out there. The world needs Superman, and John needs his father. So he ends up going back to his house and finding out that there were roads under his house. He finds John and Manchester Black, which, of course, you know, that sets Clark off. He tries to fight Manchester Black, doesn't exactly succeed. Crypto tries to jump in. That doesn't work. You got Manchester Black still trying to screw around with John's head. You got Superman, who's really failing badly. He's getting his butt kicked by Manchester Black. And then you got Cobb and his granddaughter, who show up to stop Manchester Black because they find out that he's the bad guy. Cobb, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be making it out, but the granddaughter fights back against Manchester Black. Superman gets free. The others get free. However, Manchester Black ends up getting John. That's what the scary part is. Now, next issue, it's going to be Superman versus Black Superboy. That is going to be very, very interesting. And the cover is definitely misleading. I thought John was going to develop a new power and basically beat his father. Or it was going to be a kryptonite power. I guess I was wrong. I love Superman. Yes, it is. Now, Batman issue 24, I've already done a full review on Comic Frontline, so we're going to be super quick about this. Batman, Gotham Girl have a conversation. She's debating whether she wants to be a superhero or not, wants Batman to tell her whether she should be a superhero or not. Batman says that has to be a decision she wants to make. All throughout, we see Batman chasing after Catwoman. Gotham Girl talks about, what, she wants to do. Batman saved her, so she wants to be a hero to others, so Batman's going to have her train with somebody on how to be a superhero without using her superpowers, which I like because it prevents her from dying, and I'm sure she likes it as well. And then she's like, well, and then he makes his one admission, which is a big spoiler. He says he's scared, and the reason why he's scared and why he fails at being happy at life or happy being Batman is because he's scared. But if he's not scared, then he's insane. But he'd rather be scared than insane, which was awesome and a really deep admission from Batman. And then she's like, it's okay, everybody's scared, and it's when we brave through it, that's what makes us stronger. And then she's like, well, what do you want? What does the superhero want? He's like, listen, I don't. And she interrupts him and says, listen to me. What does Batman want? And that's what we get, the cliffhanger that's going to be sticking around for at least 4 months.
Oh my
and
God,
that's where
really?
Bruce Wayne asks Selena Kyle to marry him, or Batman asks Catwoman to marry him. And now we're going to be left on this big cliffhanger at least until January, February, March. Well, we're in what month? We're in June, July, August, September, October. Until at least October, maybe September. I mean, we got 2 Batman books a month. This series, the Joker Riddler crossover, is going to be 6 issues long. So it starts right now in June, the second issue of Batman. So basically, beginning of October or end of September, we're going to continue along with this story. I thought this book was really good. It definitely was a bombshell, and DC said to waste no time and wanted to make sure the world knew about it. If you were on the internet at all on Wednesday, that last picture of the book was basically splattered all over the internet, starting with Bleeding Cool and going all the way across the globe to every single news site you can imagine. So hopefully you guys read the book for yourself before you got spoiled with Batman. I know a few people were unlucky and got spoiled by it. That sucks. Hopefully it didn't ruin your experience with the book. And as always, when it comes to books you really don't want any spoilers about, the best thing to do is avoid the internet until you have your book in hand. You know what happens when you do Wall of Heavy? You get stuck on the room late. Oh my God, no, never. But yeah, there were no books this week that actually made the list. There is a book that made the list, but that book shall not be mentioned to get publicity. So you made the list, but you're not going to get any. I'm not even going to say the title. You all know what came out this week, and you all know the one book that sucks. Oh, look. I don't think so, dude. Have a family. So, first of all, bloop. And you can have fun with that. I love having stupid people that pop in at the end. So, anyway, have fun, Mr. J. Mart, and kiss my big old greasy tuchus. So I can't find Superman 11. Oh, no, you better go looking, man. Hopefully you'll find it somewhere, Larry. It should be out there. Yeah, dude, Tevye, I ignore ignorance, and that guy is ignorant, stupid, and a bunch of other things. We won't even say it.
Ignore ignorance, the double I.
Yeah. Have fun bugging somebody else on their stream. It's one of those things you get when you're doing a live stream. You get trolls. You get dopes. We got a cup of hater right there, and now he's gone, and gone for good. So that's it for this week's Dark Avenger comic book review. As always, guys, now it's your turn to let us know in the comments below what you guys thought about this week's worth of comics. Let us know in the comments below your likes, your dislikes, agree, disagree with anything we said here, recommendations. We'd love to hear from you guys. Once again, this is Comic Frontline, your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. If you're new to this channel and not a complete and utter weird person that just comes on random live streams, leaving random weird comments, feel free to click that sub button. This way we're in your sub box and you do not miss out on a single video. And if you are even more so inclined, there is a notification bell. Click that. We have at least 3 live shows each and every week, not including this review right here, which is live for now. And ComicFrontline.com for even more Comic Frontline goodness. Look forward to our coverage for E3. Tonight, we are recording Ubisoft and we are recording Sony. It'll be up tomorrow morning. You can go on Comic Frontline and check out Bethesda, Microsoft, EA. We covered all three of those already, and then Michael will be covering Nintendo. He'll be recording it Tuesday, and it'll probably be up on Wednesday. I mean, I'll look over some trailers. I might sit in and listen to your thoughts. I might. I just might. And I'm just going to say this. Go ahead, talk for a minute, Mike.
So, yeah, I'll be looking at Nintendo tomorrow. I'm looking forward, actually, to Nintendo. And like I said, even though, if you want to know that it's going to start tomorrow, Eastern time at 12 p.m. California time, Pacific time is at 9 a.m. And they had to do it when I'm at work. Mm-hmm. I really hate that, but now I gotta wait after work 2:30 and then watch a whole recap. It's such a pain. It really is. But I have a little index card just to write, interesting stuff, because they're probably gonna talk about like Mario Odyssey and all the other stuff that's coming out. But really great stuff I'm looking forward to. So if you guys are interested and want to check it out, then you can do that.
Yep. And until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. Thank all of you who are here with us tonight and weren't complete and utter weirdos for being here. Alan, MT, Tevya, Larry, Lawhorn. We have Maverick earlier. We have Mr. Gretzky. We have Brant who popped in, who probably already left because he doesn't want to hear about our reviews. We had Shamar earlier. We had JLS, Jesse. We had Exile State, Justin. I said Mr. Gretzky. Oh. Thank you all so much for being here with us. And if you're watching this on my channel, a lot of stuff coming up soon. You're watching this only about a week before the 400 comic review. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff being announced very soon for you. You're lucky if you're watching it on my channel because it's sooner for you than it is for people watching right now. Because people watching right now, it's the beginning of June. It needs to be the beginning of July for 400. So everybody watching live, I'm sorry. It's going to be a little bit longer than people who are watching this post live on my channel. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, everybody.
Keep reading and keep collecting.